Hi, and welcome to Root Beer Library. I'm your host, Matthew, and on this channel, we taste root beer, soda, and snacks first, so you don't have to. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to do our first interview, and it's actually with Matthew from Root Beer Library. So he's going to be joining us here, and we're going to ask him a few questions about Root Beer Library. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so today we are doing our first interview. It's with Matthew from Root Beer Library. And let's go ahead and ask him his first question. And so Matthew, why Root Beer Library? Tell us a little bit more about that. Why exactly Root Beer Library?
Hey Matt, thanks for asking that question. So why Root Beer Library? Well, it's a good question. Basically, the concept came from watching a video that Gary Vaynerchuk did where he mentioned, hey, why doesn't anybody do something like Wine Library, but do it for root beer or tea? And so that got me thinking, and gosh, that had to be well over a year ago that video ran and that question was thrown out. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And I was like, eh. And I kind of threw it away again and then came back to it. And it was kind of one of those things that just kept coming back. And really, I just typed in Root Beer Library in GoDaddy one day, and URL was available. So the next day I bought the URL and I just went, well, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do it? And I just said, what the heck, let's go with it. So we started Root Beer Library. That's kind of where it came from. And of course, there's a lot we want to do with that.
Well, thank you for that answer. That's pretty exciting. We're looking forward to seeing what else happens on the channel. Also, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
So a little bit about me. Of course, my name's Matthew. I'm 45 years old. So there you go. You get the age in there. A father of 3. Got a wonderful wife named Cindy. I have a 20-year-old son. I have a 4.5-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter, at least at the time of this question or this taping or this whatever you want to call this. So that's kind of the family thing. Currently, you know, I'm got a car driving by while I'm doing an interview. That's kind of cool. But currently, I'm a full-time home inspector, and Root Beer Library is kind of a side thing that I hope will build into something greater and bigger, and we can do some really fun things with it. So that's kind of a little bit about me. I just really enjoy doing the video thing and talking to people and having those conversations, and so we'll see where this goes.
Wow, that's a lot there. Kids, family, all that going on, and you're doing Root Beer Library. That's exciting. Let's see, we got just a few more questions for you. Just out of curiosity, what are the plans for Root Beer Library? Where do you see taking Root Beer Library? What's in store for those? You know, we've got 2019 right around the corner. What are you looking to do with Root Beer Library?
So plans for Root Beer Library. That's a great question, Matt. Appreciate you asking that one. Basically, we want to do interviews, interviewing smaller YouTubers or LinkedIn now, of course, video, just smaller business owners, and then, you know, maybe do some mid-size and some big YouTubers. Of course, we would love that. But the goal is to just do interviews of people in different industries, different areas, and also key in on the soda industry, the bottling industry. So we want to definitely talk to industry people, but at the same time, I want to have some fun with it and just talk to random YouTubers, random creators out there. Hopefully, as our channel grows, we'll be able to help those people grow at the same time. So it's really a way of giving back, which is kind of key for me in regards to with Root Beer Library. Also, we are working on a cookbook and a sauce book with root beers and sodas, how to make root beer barbecue sauces or sauces and rubs, actual dry rubs, and then as well as doing some cooking with all of that. So those are things that we're looking to do with it, and we'll be putting out a cookbook and a sauce book. Also retail. Would love to open up a Root Beer Library retail store with just tons of root beers and sodas and other fun things that we come across. So that's big picture down, you know, that's like big bubble thinking. but one step at a time. You know, you got to do one day, one thing, and just keep pushing forward with that.
Wow. I'm super excited about those things. More interviews. I like that. Possibly a store in the future. That sounds exciting. I understand it's going to be a little while before some of those things take place, but really looking forward to seeing what happens there, and I will certainly be keeping an eye on it. Really quick, just to ask, you mentioned doing interviews. Who would you like to interview? What's that look like?
Who would I like to interview? There's a question. Yeah, hopefully these people see this and maybe we can do that. But I would love to interview Gary Vaynerchuk, of course, since Root Beer Library, that's, in a sense, he helped bring out the brainchild in me, or the vision in me, or whatever, to go this direction. So I'd love to interview him. Lewis Howell would be pretty cool. I like his stuff. I think he'd be fun. Cody Wanner, hopefully I'm saying that right. I'd love to interview him. He's kind of a newer vlogger out there, and I think that would be kind of cool. But then there's guys like Sean Cannell, Heather Torres, the guys from Think Media, Benji Travis. He's doing cooking and part of Think Media, but he's got his own channel. That would be kind of cool, do a cooking episode with him. Blippi, I got to throw that out because I'd love to sit down with Blippi. Steve Johns is his real name. That, I think, would be fun because I've watched so much of his content with my kids. I think Blippi would be totally cool. He's in Vegas. I'm in Cali. Blippi, Steve John, maybe hook that one up. I can go see Sean Cannell and Heather Torres and those guys out there, and then stop by, see you, make it a whole big thing. That'd be kind of cool. But that's what I'm looking to do. I definitely want to sit down with people from all walks of life and just, in a sense, give them a voice within my channel. There you go. You know, I want to sit down with the pastors I know and just kind of find out what they got going on, but then sit down with just some regular Joes and see what they got going on, and sit down and talk with maybe, you know, someone that owns a coffee shop. Definitely will be getting into and talking with people that are in my industry as far as the bottling and the root beer stuff, and there's a ton of smaller brewers that brew root beer, very much like brewing beer. And I definitely want to sit down with them and chat it up with them, find out what they got going on. That's huge for me. The kombucha brewers, sit down with them. That's kind of where I want to go with this, is just hitting up the smaller folks that are out there that are doing things at the same time as, of course, hitting up some of the big names. There you go.
Wow, so definitely want to interview some big names there. That's exciting. Would love to see that happen. But I also love the fact that you want to interview just normal folks, normal people out there that are creators or that have their own small business, that are doing things, and just give them a voice through your channel. I really like that. I think that's exciting. I really can't wait to see how Root Beer Library plays out. So just one more question for you, and this kind of has to do with the bottling aspect, or you know, the root beer side of things, or the soda side, or you know, what am I trying to get to? You know, the companies that you might want to work with. I mean, what does that look like?
So about bottling, so the question, I guess, is, am I going to do private label? Am I going to get into bottling my own stuff? Down the road, that's probably one of the pushes. One of the things that I'd like to do is come up with a Root Beer Library root beer, but maybe I'll start working with someone that's a mid-size or smaller brewer, and we'll come up with a flavor twist. Black Dog root beer. I've been watching what they've been doing. They finally are in bottle form, and really can't wait to get my hands on some of that and sit down with them and talk about that. Maybe we'll do a collab in a brewing sense. That'd be kind of cool. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes, but that's definitely down the road. But you never know. Tomorrow's always another day. So, yeah, hey Matt, I really appreciate you bringing me on and, you know, being able to collaborate with you and have this interview and talk a little bit about what's going on for Root Beer Library. I really appreciate that. Excited to see where we go. Hope that you guys keep watching. And again, Matt, thanks for having me on, and I will see you around.
Wow, again, very exciting stuff. Thank you, Matthew, for taking time out of your day to sit down with us and talk about Root Beer Library and what's going on there. We're really excited to see what happens in the future. Hey, thank you for catching this episode of Root Beer Library, the interview edition, where we got to interview Matthew from Root Beer Library. Really appreciate you guys stopping by, and as always, don't forget, drink responsibly. See you on the next one.